Hey there,
Silence
everybody.
her.
This is
When
Jandor,
things are getting boisterous, you know who to call.
bringing you another episode of Learning the Ropes, playing Dota 2. This time I am going to be playing Lina, a character I've played several times before and have not been having good luck with of late. This is an interesting game. We did an all-pick game. I'm in a four-stack of people, some three of my friends here. Whitelit Visions, Conberry, and Super Slick Willie are all friends of mine. Whitelit Visions is a really, really good Dota player. And we got thrown into this game the other day, having some fun, and it did not go well early on. We really lost the laning stage pretty hard, I think, across the board, but this is a good example of how you can keep fighting even if you're on sort of the even if you're having a really bad early game. The
Everybody get
game
set.
isn't over. Like, Dota's interesting in that it can seem like you're going to get totally outplayed or that you might get crushed super early on or something like that, but there are a surprising number of tools at your disposal for coming back into the game if you play well, um, and maybe get a little bit lucky and just sort of keep your wits about you. So this is an interesting game. I wanted to revisit it because, well, like I said, it was one of the more intense experiences I've had playing Dota in a long time. I took a
Thanks.
little while to pick my character. I wasn't sure what to do. Ended up going with Lina, and I will go to my player perspective here on the Lina, and we'll take a look at what I did. So let's introduce the teams. On our side, Dire side, we have White